Hey, what's going on, YouTube? I don't know. How's it going, guys? This is Kyle Hackney from Hack Attack Fitness, coming to you live from my car for another vloggity vlog. Actually, is it a vlog? Or are vlogs like just when you just do day-to-day things? Like, I'm going to the grocery store, let me show you the grocery store. Or can it be like a purpose-driven, like, question and answer sort of thing? I honestly have no idea. I don't know. Comment, let me know. Am I doing it wrong? But I get a question from some of the guys I prep or some of the guys that I train, and I've gotten this question on forums and stuff. Do I do HIIT or low intensity steady state training during my cut? And I often ask back, what do you mean, do you do either? And they're like, well, which one's best? And I'm like, well, they're both good. Do them both. The thing about it is, high-intensity interval training and low-intensity steady state are both good in their own ways. And you should do them both because they're actually synergistic. The long story short of that is the heart actually adapts to cardiovascular training in different ways based on whether it's high-intensity interval training or low-intensity steady-state training. And so doing both is actually the best way to go about things. But that's the short of it, the very short of it. But the thing about it is high-intensity interval training is very, very good at quickly building, work capacity, quickly building your ability to your anaerobic work capacity, and to a degree your aerobic work capacity. And low intensity steady state cardio is great for building work capacity, for improving your recovery from workouts, for building just overall heart health. They each have a lot of benefits to them individually, and the thing about it is the only thing I would say is with high intensity interval training, you do have to recover more from that than you do from a low intensity steady state training session. If you're just doing like cardio, moderate clip biking or something like that, then you are probably not going to need to recover from that outside of just making sure you compensate for it calorically. So make sure you eat more, make sure you eat enough to compensate for those calories you've burned, and your body will recover just fine from it. High-intensity interval training, especially if you're doing it against a resistance thing, like against a cycle, like against a resistance on a bike or something like that, it can actually be a bit harder to recover from, and is a little more akin to weight training in a lot of ways. Also, it's a damn good challenge mentally. But the thing about it is, when I prescribe cardio for people, most of what I prescribe is low intensity, and then I prescribe anywhere from 1 to 4 high intensity sessions per week. 4 is the very high end. Even I don't do 4, and that's more of a sport specific thing. But I typically do 2 to 3 myself, and I typically prescribe anywhere from 1 to 3 for my clients. And that is enough to gain the benefits of high-intensity interval training. And overall, I like cardio as a thing. And so, I would say to do both. The only thing about it is, don't rely on... Because there's this idea that high-intensity interval training, you burn more calories after the workout through excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. Everyone talked about that for a week or something. But it doesn't actually amount to much. Do not rely on excess post-exercise oxygen consumption to burn any significant amount of calories. If you want to burn more calories, you have to do more work. And typically, you just can't burn as many calories doing a 15-minute high-intensity session than you can during an hour-long moderate intensity session. And so typically what I'll have people do is I'll have them do sprints, like bike sprints, and then I'll have them follow it up by like another 40 minutes of cardio, low intensity cardio right afterwards. And this is because that high intensity interval training actually frees up a bunch of fatty acids from the fatty acid stores in your body that then float around the bloodstream. If you just do your high intensity stuff and then you just get off the bike and you go eat or whatever, then they're just going to redeposit right there. If you take another 30-40 minutes and you actually do some cardio afterwards, you're actually going to burn through a lot of those fatty acids that will have been mobilized by the high intensity interval training. And so this is something that is a good way to get rid of that stubborn body fat, you know, like the lower abs on your guys, the love handles, stuff like that. Stuff that just doesn't want to come off as easily as the rest of the fat on your body. Now, all this being said, while I think cardio is wonderful, I think cardio is a great thing. I prescribe it to all of my clients, with no exceptions, unless they just can't do it for some weird reason. I prescribe cardio, and a lot of cardio, because I think it's a good thing. I think it's good for your heart, and I just prefer my clients to eat more rather than eat more and do more rather than cut calories and eat less, because who wants to eat like a bird? Especially while you're cutting. That's a bitch. But anyways, no amount of cardio is technically necessary to cut to any percent body fat. You know, most people can get down really low without doing any real cardio to speak of. They just have to watch their calories very closely. That being said, I don't have that kind of willpower. Most people don't have that kind of willpower. And I like pizza and ice cream. You know what? I would much rather do like an hour or two of cardio and be able to eat an entire pizza and still be in a deficit by a large margin than I would not do any cardio, be kind of bored for those 2 hours anyways. I mean, like, I was probably going to watch YouTube videos anyways. Great, cool. And then eat, like, you know, chicken and rice, and that's it. Not my shtick. It's just not. I don't think cardio is all that bad, personally, from like a mental perspective. It's not mentally grating or something. And I think a lot of people just tell themselves, oh, cardio, no. I'm like, don't give yourself that mindset. Look at it positively. But, anyways, that's a long, ranty way to say, you know, both high-intensity interval training and low-intensity steady-state cardio are both very good for you and should both be incorporated into your training schedule. So, without any further delay, this is Kyle Hackney from Hack Attack Fitness signing out. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.